So I have a 2011 Jeep Compass here in the shop. It has a 2.4 in it. I'm going to show you how to change the spark plugs in it. So your oil cap's right here. Before you drain the oil out, you want to loosen your cap. Just set it right there. We're going to lift the car up.
We're going to do spark plugs on this thing. So it's a 2.4 2011 Jeep Compass. And we'll take the dipstick out. Just sit that right here. Got some pads here that we pop off. They've got these little grommets underneath. There's 4 of them. They go on to these studs here sticking up. There's 2 there and there's 2 here. Well, there should be a second one here. And oh, it's right there. Okay.
There it is. Yep.
All right, so we're going to take these coil packs off. They look like they're T30 Torx bits. We're going to unplug the electrical connectors and we'll get the plugs out. I'm going to sit my dipstick back in the hole here for now. All right, so I'm gonna unplug these electrical connectors. It looks like it's just a squeeze tab here, and then I can slide the connector off. And we're gonna do all 4 of them. I like to do them all at one shot because I could probably pull the harness up out of the way. And now I can get the harness kind of up out of my grill here. So now if there's any shit in here that's hanging down here, you know, like acorns and stuff, this is the time to blow it out. I've got a little tiny leaf blower. I'm just going to give it a quick little leaf blow and blow the debris off here from the mice. And then we'll go in after our coils. All right, so we got our T30 and we're just going to crack these loose by hand. And then we'll use the screw gun to come out. I don't like to just hammer on these from the beginning. I like to crack them loose, you know, to see how they go. These things are threaded into a nut cert that's pressed into this plastic cover. So you kind of want to be careful that you don't just push the nut cert out and then you won't be able to hold the coil down, and that's a problem. So we've got the coils out. We're going to take them out one at a time. I lay them out in the same place. We're going to spray these with silicone like we always do and put some dielectric grease in there. And let's go in and pull the plugs. You're going to crack these loose. You kind of want the car semi-cooled down. And, you know, you can use the electric ratchet to take the plugs all out. We're going to crack them loose, and then we're going to go back in with our texting tool that we have, and we'll pull the plugs out. This is the heart of your motor. You don't really need to rush this. And there's only 4 plugs. They're really easy to get to. So we're going to crack them loose until they start feeling like they're loose. And then we'll slide this red texting tool down on top of them. And we'll unthread them. And we want to inspect the plugs to make sure that we don't have one plug that looks different from the remaining plugs. Because if you do, that's an indication there could be something going on with your engine. So if all your spark plugs look the same, that's kind of a good thing. Unless they're all soaking wet and they all look shitty, but we'll take a look and we will let you know. So I've got these cracked loose. So now I've got our little texting tool that we use. I'm going to slide that down onto the spark plug. You just push it down. And now I can unthread the rest of the plug by hand. Okay, so here's the plug. And you can see by the orange ring down here on the bottom that these have been in for a while. And the tips are pretty well worn down on them. So I don't see any oil in here fouling, so that's a good sign. But these plugs have been in here for a long time. So we're going to keep them out in order. Let's go after number 2.
The customer was complaining about the vehicle bucking. I took it out for a test drive and it bucked a couple of times on me. So I think the plugs have way over 100 grand on them. And if that's the case, that could cause that kind of an issue.
And you can tell by the, like you said, the orange ring here that they've been in for a while. And then you look looking at your tips and they're worn down. They're not square looking, they're kind of round looking. And we'll see what the gap is on them. I don't see any wet. That's good. Okay. It's the same thing here. This one looks decent. I mean, it's worn, you know, but it's good.
This is a super easy car to do a spark
Okay,
plug change
same
on.
thing. There's no oil leaking around it. They look, they're worn down, but they're in the orange ring. You can tell these have been in for a while. So these are NGK. I'm not sure that that's original or not for this vehicle. But we're going to get our new plugs. So the plugs look okay. I don't see any that look different. If you look at all of them, they all look fairly the same.
That's a good
Nothing's
thing.
wet, nothing's got a big carbon glob on it or anything. So they've worn good. So let's get the new set ready to go in. So we're just checking the gap on the old plugs. It's supposed to be 44, and we're at 55.
That's not good.
So, well, you can tell that they've been really worn. That one's about 53. And we're just doing this just to see where we're at. This one's 53.
Yes, they're all way off.
Yeah, that's 53, 54. All right, let's get the new ones.
So when they gap that much farther than it's supposed to be, it's going to relate to a bad fuel mileage economy. So when we get these replaced, they'll be brand new plugs. They'll be gapped where they should be.
So here's the new plug, and it's supposed to be 44. It's, it's got the small tip, so I'm not forcing this. So it's at like 41, 42, so that's good. The only reason we double check these is you don't want to try and bend the gap up because the little tiny electrode will snap off on the top. Then the plug's no good. So we're just checking it to make sure the box wasn't dropped and we don't have something. Okay, that's good. And if it was bent, we would want to grab some tiny needle nose in between here and just bend it up a little bit. So that's good. Check the other one. And if they're all good, we're just going to never seize a little bit of never seize on them, and then we'll use our Thexton tool and thread them back down. Okay, that's the same. So these things were worn so the spark was jumping farther, to make contact, and that's going to take away from your fuel economy, like Tony said. Okay, we're at 40 there, 41. So, all right, so we're going to get some never seize on these, and we'll get them start threading them. Just putting a little bit on the threads. I don't need a lot.
This is definitely a car you can change the plugs on any driveway at home.
Yeah.
They're pretty easy to do, guys. This isn't bad at all.
Yeah, we'll show you. We'll check the air filter on it. Make sure that that's clean too. Your air filter and your tire pressure are the two biggest things for fuel economy, obviously in your plugs, but if you're looking for max economy, that's what you need. All right, so we got our Thexton tool. We're just going to slide this on, and we'll start putting these back in place. Okay, so we're going to thread the first one in with the tool. Make sure it feels smooth going down, and this will tighten down until you feel the tool spinning on the plug. And then at that point, we'll just pull the boot off, and then we'll tighten them at the end with the spark plug socket. Go to the next one. Slip it down onto the plug.
This tool Steve's using is pretty handy. It's a Thexton tool. I'll throw a link in the description of the video to it on Amazon. We use it constantly in our videos.
They have a shorter one and this longer one, and yeah, we use them a lot. Some people throw them in the spark plug socket, put it back in, and you can do that. This gives you a really good feel for finding the hole and tightening it down. And like I said, once I feel it spinning, then I'll just pull it off with the last one here. Then we'll show you how we put the dielectric grease in our boots for our coils, and we spray them with silicone spray to keep them moist and keep the water out of them, and that'll extend the life of them. We do that on all of our spark plug changes. Okay, so we're going to tighten up the plugs. Like I said, you're going to do this by hand. I don't advise you tightening this down with an air ratchet. You want to get the feel in here. Some guys tighten them with the electric ratchet,
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
I just, for the amount of time it's taken me to hand tighten this, it's wood. It's just, you know, security. If I was a flat rate shop, I guess it's probably different.
Freaking dealerships, $200 an hour at most dealerships. So for this little job right here, you're probably looking at parts, dealer, you're probably looking at about 350, 400. Do you think, Steve?
Yeah, I think at least 350.
350, yeah.
Okay, so on our boots, let's get our dielectric grease in there and then we'll spray these.
So you know what? At the time of this video, I'm into 4 Bosch spark plugs at $20. So $20, if you can do this in your driveway, is a lot better than $300 to $400. Then when you get done, you can go to eat, right?
Okay, so we've got our dielectric grease. We're just gonna put some of this into the boot. We don't need a lot. We're doing one at a time. Just put a little squirt in there. And now we're gonna do our silicone spray. I go over the barrel. I'm gonna spray both sides of this boot. And I'm gonna go slip this back down onto the plug.
And we're gonna spray the other 3 coils the same way.
Yep. These coils can be, you know, $75 a piece. So if I can extend the life on them, that's what I want to do. Okay, we're going to get a little bit of Nevis on our screw heads here. We're going to get these all, and then we'll start catching all of these, and we'll come right back to you. Catching these all, start them with our fingers.
Yeah, so the motor isn't too bad to do this stuff on. It's pretty easy. These are the jobs that dealerships love. Right, Steve?
Yeah.
These are the gravy jobs.
Yeah. All right, so we got those all back in. We're gonna use our ratchet to just snug them, and then we'll hand tighten them. All right, I'm gonna get my quarter drive ratchet and snug them up. Okay, you just want them snug. You don't have to kill them. Remember, there's only a nut cert pressed in a plastic valve cover. You will rip it right out if you over tighten these. So we can start getting our plug wires back in place. You hear the click? That's what we want to hear for the coil packs. You do them one at a time. Click. Go for this one. Go for this one. Now you've got a cover on the engine, but some people don't. And if they don't, you know, you just give these a little spray, silicone spray. You're just protecting the coils a little more from moisture. You know, we're in New England. There's a lot of condensation of moisture and bad weather. So we've got the plugs all in, all sealed up. We silicone sprayed all our boots, put a little bit of dielectric grease in there, keep them moist and keep them sealed. And that's all it's going to take for the tune-up. We're going to.
So I just stopped in the car, Steve, and I fired it up, and it seems like it caught like way faster this time than earlier. It's running pretty good.
Okay, I don't think the cover's going to fit over the dipstick. I'm going to try. Yeah, it actually does.
Yeah, it actually does. Huh.
All right, so you can just feel for it, and I found it. It's all locked down, and you just try and lift it a little bit. You can feel that it's all locked in. So I didn't have to take the dipstick out. I thought I might have. Looking down on it this way, it looks like it's wider than the hole, but it actually fit. All right, so we got the cover back on.
And that'd be it. If you guys have a question, leave a comment. I will reply back to you. And I hope you liked the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. It really helps us out. Thank you.